Okay, it's Bob Foster again with the 10-minute Tech Talk, sponsored by Global Now. I'm happy to be here today. I'm especially thrilled to be in Plano, Texas. Is that where we are?
Yeah, we're in Plano.
Yeah, I come up here to the Burbs. We're in this cool little bar. I'll say little, it's more like a sports bar, right? It's called Two Brothers. I have been here maybe once before, but this was recommended by this guy. This is Rama. We're going to introduce him in a minute, but this is a really good place. You can see behind us, we've got plenty of TVs and other cool things so you can stay in touch with sports. As a reminder, this 10-minute Tech Talk is all about tech, believe it or not. And today we're going to have another AI topic. It's really going to be about AI and its impact on enterprise architecture, both how EA is developed and also how you consider the impacts from AI when you're designing architectures. But to get to the point, I want to introduce Rama, who was kind enough to do this with me. I've known Rama for a long time. He's been a client, a partner, a friend, and we've actually played golf together. And I can tell you, his knowledge on tech is better than his golf game. All he beat me, so that tells you something. Rama, if you don't mind, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Rama Vangipuram. I'm a partner at Baringa, recently a partner at Baringa, my company that's recently got acquired by Baringa. So prior to that, I had co-founded a management consulting firm, boutique firm here in Dallas that we've been running around for 9 years. And we ended up merging with Baringa to go help them to grow their digital technology presence here in the U.S.
How long have you been in Dallas?
And I grew up in Dallas, but since college, probably 26 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've seen it grow, even this whole area.
Yeah, that's incredible. Well, congratulations on the acquisition. I know you're excited about that.
Yeah.
That's going to be great being part of that company. So let's just get to the topic. There's a couple areas, and people talk about enterprise architecture, and that's something I'm always confused about right? And has to consider the business requirements and how those are aligned with system requirements and system needs. And to me, it's considering AI, there's kind of two parts of that. And the first part, as I mentioned, is how do you use or how do you anticipate AI contributing to development of an architectural scheme or approach? What are you seeing so far?
I think one thing is, I think a lot of people there's a misperception of what enterprise architects are. I think a lot of them put them into being solution architects. The reality, a lot of good enterprise architects really understand the business really well. And it's more about, okay, how does technology fit into that in that enterprise?
Yeah.
So if you're looking at AI in terms of helping enterprise architects out, it's more of helping them with some of that document, those TOGAFs and all that. There's some tools out there to go help them, but it's not going to do their job. It's going to help expedite doing their job. They still have to go and validate it and maybe tweak it, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day. But then as in AI and development, I know a lot of people say that, hey, I think AI is going to take place in some developers. I don't really necessarily buy into that.
Okay.
If you think about like maybe if you want to call it something that's a commodity-based code, right? Which is, I need to do a reset password or some of the things that are typical all functions within a application. Sure, you may want to go leverage that, but you can't necessarily feed it. I'm going to give you these business rules and I'm going to go build that. You'll see that right now. There are low code or no code platforms, and what they're leveraging is essentially AI.
Oh, I see. It's part of their platform and their performance. Yeah.
But in any of those low code, no code solutions, they will create you a solution that's a point solution. Very hard to go integrate within the rest of your enterprise or be able to even pull that data to go be able to do reporting. That's my experience in terms of seeing some of the platforms. There might be, like if you look at Microsoft's Power Platform, it's a little bit different in terms of that solution than the local.
In what way?
Because the Power Platform is so heavily built within the Microsoft architecture that it's easy to go pull that data out.
Okay, I see. Because it's contained and you have better access.
And that's more of a low-code platform than, say, these no-code platforms. And I think the other thing you got to think about on these no-code platforms is also like the application, like how well is that application going to perform? They're coding it towards your specs of whatever functionality you want to go do.
Sure.
And then as you try to, and it can do great. It's great for these simple solutions, right?
Sure.
But if you get into more complex process flows and workflows that you got to go do, then I think that's where the challenge is in terms of using.
Actually executing on those. That kind of First of all, thanks for that kind of definition of enterprise architecture. That was a good reminder about what that really is, and it's closely connected to the business. Okay.
Yeah.
But isn't there going to be the availability of more AI tools that can generate maybe, I don't know what you call maybe business requirements, business rules, and doing that in a way that contributes to the, say, the initial architecture design and or even the maintenance of that? You,
Yeah, I can see that. So I'll tell you, for example, you could take, let's say you draw out a high level process flow. You're sitting down with the business. They don't know what they just tell you, hey, this is how we do it, or maybe optimize. You can take that flow right now and you can find an AI tool, say ChatGPT or Gemini.
okay.
Upload that, let's say, PDF of that flow,
Right.
and it'll pop out to you high level requirements, right? And then
Okay.
you can have it derive more.
Right.
But it's not going to get down to, it's going to maybe get down to for you to go be estimate as an architect
Right.
at a high level. Hey, do you agree with this? And then you can come up with a high level estimate of what that effort looks like. But it's not going to drive further those details because you got to still spend that
requires
time.
your insight about the
Yeah.
operational environment, whatever it may be, to
Exactly.
make those decisions. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what about just from a maintenance standpoint, though? Is there one of the things, as I understand, one of the challenges of architecture is maintenance of an evolving business environment, which is always moving quick, right? And making decisions about what, and we're system oriented here, but making decisions about what systems support those business requirements. Is there an opportunity that there'll be triggers or I don't know, AI agents or alerts or something of that nature said, here's these changes that would potentially indicate that you may need to do something different or consider when it comes to your system framework?
So I think it's all going to come down to how complex your solution is, right? So if you're looking at a custom solution that's pretty complicated, maybe difficult, right? Not out of the realm that you could go maybe build something that's agentic in terms of solving. So maybe simple things.
Right.
You already see it, right? With a couple of solutions that are out there. Hey,
Right.
I can go solve this if you go type in exactly what your problem is.
Right.
And you may see it with some SaaS solutions that are out there that say, if you run into a problem, here's a way to go fix it.
Okay.
Maybe some workflow. Here's what's wrong. You need to go change this microdata. I think that will exist and that will evolve to where you're not that low hanging fruit.
So it makes the support easier, basically. Yeah. So to me, that's important, right?
Yeah.
So you don't become stale.
Yeah.
And that's always I think, a challenge of architecture.
Yeah. Right? But I think what will that also do is if you think about it for people who architect these solutions, they'll have to think about, I know people say they think about, okay, I got to think about maintainability. Maintainability goes out the door sometimes because the business requirements change so much that you're especially if you're building something from scratch, you're in this flight mode of, I got to go change this and change that. And then you're trying to update it. And then all of a sudden, you see it a lot of times, organizations that are not adapting to an agile model. What's happening is they go down a path and it takes forever to go build out a solution.
Yeah, the old waterfall approach or something.
Yeah, and then what ends up happening is it becomes harder to maintain.
Sure.
So it's harder then to go come in with an agentic solution that says I can solve these simple things. Okay. Because of the longevity of that project. If
they've deployed a solution like that, then that's going to also have disadvantage of not really accepting AI as a tool.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. But I think if you start thinking about, hey, we got to adapt, and that includes not only the technology, but the business side of being better in terms of managing those expectations, or, hey, can we just stick with this, and then we'll come back with these business changes that you need, and it becomes a little bit easier. And maybe you can then use some sort of, right now, I don't see it. Do I see it happening in the future? Pretty sure technology is always evolving.
Okay. No, that's good. And that's a good explanation. So we have about 2 or 3 minutes left for the second question, but it's interesting to me now. And that question is, how do you consider AI not to perform your EA duties, but how do you consider AI as part of your enterprise architecture? Is there anything unique about that? Other than, to me, the problem is it's changing every day. It's getting better every day. I'm sure you're getting this already. I think we were talking about one earlier. You're having corporations come to you and say, hey, I want to build out my new landscape, my new frameworks, systems, whatever. What do I do about AI? How do you stay current, or is it a matter of just staying current? What would you do?
So I think a lot of organizations, like I think AI has existed for a long time.
Uh-huh.
We're just now
Like
using
machine
it.
learning.
Yeah, the machine learning, predictive
Right.
analytics, that's all existed. When we think about AI, we're thinking more of that agentic aspect.
Generative say it.
Yeah, the generative, because if you really think about it, machine learning, predictive analytics existed for a while.
Right.
The organizations that do it really well, what they've done is taken a step back and looked at their data governance. Right?
Okay.
Where's all their data coming from? Who owns the data? It's the nomenclature of that data, meaning all those data.
So that's essential. Knowing that you're going to use AI at some point, you better do that, especially as an enterprise.
Yeah.
So is that rule number one? You come in and say,
I would say it's number one, because your AI, your analytics, your predictive analytics, or anything related to AI is only as good as the data in.
Okay. All right.
So if the data is bad, you're only going to get bad output. What happened recently? Grok was scrolling through whatever Twitter or whatever it's called now, and had a lot of right-wing stuff, and decided to be more Hitler-like.
Yeah, exactly.
Why is that? Because that's the data it's consuming.
Yeah.
This is what it, and so it adapted to what it consumes.
Yeah.
So for any organization, really from an architectural perspective, they really need to look at where all their data sources are. How good is that data?
Yeah.
What do they need to do? If they got a lot of resources that are inputting data and they don't have any data validation, say, into those forms or whatever they're using, even with Salesforce, right? You're not putting any data validation rules on those fields, then eventually you're going to have bad data. Or even if you're an organization.
This is one that's so essential. I mean, I was sitting here thinking about this as you were talking about it. Obviously, you can see me daydreaming as you were handling, but I think this is so essential. One is probably another topic that'd be really good, but it is actually, to me, it's the critical path of considering AI an enterprise solution, is you have to think about the data, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I think we're almost out of time. So let's end it on that and say thank you to two brothers. This is great. And I think we're going to enjoy a snack, and I'm sure a beer or something.
Or a cocktail. Yep.
Maybe a cocktail. I mean, I'm buying, so we got to keep this low. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate Rama. As always, it's great knowledge, and you're definitely an expert in this field. So
yeah, thanks for having me. It's a good topic.
So again, this is 10-minute Tech Talk. What, TikTok?
TikTok, close to TikTok.
Tech Talk.
You might as well trademark it, man.
I might take that TikTok thing. Thanks again, and we'll be seeing you on the next round of the Global Now 10-minute Tech Talk. I got it right.